started, in 2015. Business, wasn't a business. It was just me really training my brothers.
Ever since I was in about middle school, Desmond's been my trainer, and it's been that way since now. And I'm extremely fortunate that my trainer happens to be my brother. So,
what's up, everyone? It's your host Adam Perez, back with another episode of the Wins and Losses podcast. Today, we're up bright and early today with a special guest in the Valley, local. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
In the flesh, LeagueMe LLC, Desmond Howard. Appreciate y'all having me. Wins and Losses, live and direct. Appreciate y'all getting up at my time of the morning.
Nah, thank you, man. It's early, man. I gotta say, this is probably the earliest episode we've had so far, man.
I call this lunch.
You call that? Yeah, nah, for sure, man. I heard you had a workout this morning, right?
Yeah, we had a couple. Appreciate start coming through for the back end, but we had 3 prior. A few individuals, small group. Then I got some of my guys that are still here in town, some working. It was a really good morning, though. Productive. And then I get to touch down with my people over here on the west. I'm on the East Valley. We're located in Chandler off the 202. Very central, about 2 miles away from, actually about 2-3 miles away from Chandler Mall. But, I love to touch everyone in Arizona. I feel like we're very undervalued as a state in terms of basketball. And I feel like it's my job to bring us to light, bring back, the heat to say, or the sun, the Phoenix.
Exactly, man. Just speaking of, talking about that workout you had this morning, man, it's like, okay, we planned on this episode starting at like 8 in the morning. What time did you start that?
Yeah, so when I, get going, my first workout's usually at 3:30, 4 a.m.
What time you go to sleep?
Yeah, depends. It depends on the day and when I finish, but usually between 8 and 9.
8 and 9?
Yeah,
okay.
Try to get those hours in, 5, 7.
Dang, man, that's like breakfast for me.
For
the average.
So
I like that though.
Yeah, but for me, it's just about setting myself apart.
There you go.
There's not enough hours in a day at all times for me to do everything that I need to. So the earlier I start, I can get ahead of the competition.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about you for a little bit, man. I know, you audience right now, your name's Desmond Howard. But obviously, before LeagueMe, the brand, right? Desmond Howard was that was you only, that was just your individual self. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you grow up at?
So I'm originally from Morristown, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah. So we grew up in Jersey. My mom's from Jersey. Her whole side's from Jersey. My dad's from Indiana. We actually moved out here to Arizona. A lot of people don't know this due to 9/11.
Oh.
So when 9/11 happened, a lot of things in the city went under, jobs, things like that. Yeah. My parents, we relocated to Arizona. My dad ran his own business. When we came out here, I think he's with LA Fitness or a professional gym where he was training. Eventually started his own business where I get my motivation and my aspirations to not work for anybody else from. And just seeing them grind, you know what I mean? We come from New Jersey. They moved here, Arizona. It'd be 1, 2 in the morning. I hear pans rattling. My dad getting up for work. And that's where I get the grind from. So why I'm up so early, it's just, hereditary in a sense where, my family and my parents have always done it. So it's just natural to me. But yeah, we're originally from New Jersey, moved out here after 9/11, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah, so it sounds like just the hustle is just, it runs in the blood in the family.
100%.
And you have, how many brothers?
2. I have 2 right? Younger brothers. My brother Jordan, we're 19 months apart, and then my brother Marcus, we're 5 years apart.
Okay, 19 months. So you went to school with Jordan, or?
Yeah, so we played. My senior year was his sophomore year. We got to play at Perry together, which is a high school in the East Valley.
Yeah. So all you guys went to Perry?
Yeah. So me and Jordan went there 4 years, and then Marcus went there 3 years, or actually 2 years. Did his 3rd year at Finley Prep, which is a prep school in Las Vegas, specifically for basketball and academics. And then he forewent his senior year because he reclassified, and then he went to Marquette. So when he went to Marquette, a lot of people don't know he was supposed to be a senior in high school. So he did everything that he did, being maybe a year quote unquote younger.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. No, I think I remember that, man, because I used to play. I was on the freshman team as a freshman. Star was as a freshman. He was on varsity, and I remember watching the game, and Marcus was playing. I think Habib was our point guard, right, at that time or something like that. Yeah. So, that was our freshman year, man. I just remember we're at Perry, and this dude was just balling out. Like, it just seemed like he was ahead of everyone else, and he's only a freshman. So that makes sense for him to be, younger at playing at a collegiate level. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and it was a blessing. My parents set a great foundation to where the academics were put first, and my mom really pressed that. So his schooling was already taken care of. It was just a matter of if his game would translate, which of course the work that we put in, we were very confident with that. So it just made sense.
Let's talk about that for a second, man. Marcus, man. Shout out Marcus. I know he's playing for Denver now, right? That's a big move, man. Yeah. Is he out there right now?
So I haven't seen him since he left, which was a little bit after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been great, bro. Honestly, it's a blessing to be in this position to see him go through the trials, the tribulations, the wins and the losses, and to overcome it and to see where he's at now. It's a testimony for anyone out there to just, if you really believe in something and you really want something, it's obtainable.
Exactly, and I feel like that's something that, just looking back on some videos, man, I saw his first bucket was like a nice little step back three and stuff like that. Right. I feel like that's something that you guys always work on,
I appreciate that, bro. And not to cut you off, but it's just, it comes to me as just signature, you know what I mean? Like that's what we've worked on, not his whole life, but I can remember when he's in junior sons and, if you think about, the rec level, you start junior sons at a level where you're young. So he was with Goggles, Chubby, had a great game to him, but the mentality I always had for him was 30 or die. Like if you don't score 30 points, it's like you're dead. So that mentality of being able to score
50 college leading scorer.
So it translates. But at the end of the day, he's done the work, and I'm very proud of him. And if you work hard at the things that you believe in and the things that you love, great things come from it.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, man. That's a blessing, man. I'm sure you and the family deserve it. You guys, like I said, man, you guys, and you're the older brother, man, which is crazy because I'm the youngest too.
Okay.
Out of my family, and I always looked up to my older brothers. I felt like they would lead the way, man. How is it being the older brother, and taking, I don't want to say charge, but leadership? You know what I mean? 'Cause being a leader is looking out for other people's future, not just yourself. So.
Amen. For me, it's a blessing just because I love to give back, pour in, and encourage other people. So it's always been natural for me. So my brothers, I love them ultimately because they're my brothers, but at the end of the day, I want the best for them. Exactly. So it gets contradicting to where you have to draw the fine line of, you're the basketball trainer on the court and the brother off the court. And there's a fine line, you want to push them, you want to enhance the skills that they had and the gifts that God's given them. But at the same time, you can't be friends. You have to take it serious. You have to push them. And sometimes I don't even have to say anything. It's just the things that I put them through and the things that I implement in my training, to where if you don't beat the drill, it's your fault. So there's no reason to get mad at me or anyone else. If you can't complete the drill, then you need to get better. So for me, it's very simple. But, for me and being the older brother and the leader, it's very humbling to see everything come full circle because I wasn't doing it out of any intention for the podcast or the gym or I just love my brothers.
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, I ultimately originally wanted to be a sports agent. I went to business school, business and sports management. They have a specific program at GCU that I graduated from, but I'm not using it. I'm not, because God's given me abilities that I didn't even know I had. I was seeking something that wasn't for me, and God brought it to my eyes through my brothers that this is what I'm supposed to do. So for me, for anyone out there that's listening, you can seek things that you think are for you, but He has the ultimate plan for your life. So if you're seeking things that you think is right, you should rethink those things, pray about it, and then see for what it is, the truth behind it. So being a leader, I'm so humbled and thankful to have two brothers to be able to do it for, but more than that, a city. I really feel like there's a lot of people that support and are pushing what I'm doing and what I believe in, and I can't do it alone. So I'm very thankful. No,
I hear you, man. That's crazy to me, man. Like I said, the whole being the older brother, I feel like you just got a lot of weight on your shoulders that you have to lead your younger siblings in the right direction. You know what I mean? But I want to hear about a typical workout, man, because there's trainers all over Arizona. You know what I mean? But what sets you aside, man? I feel like you've trained NBA players. That shows something. You know what I mean? And I know you even go back. It doesn't stop there. You teach train children, you know,
100%.
younger ages, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? You're guiding them in the right direction. But can we talk about like a you know, a typical like workout, like what's it like in the morning? And
so for me, like the foundation is the relationship.
Okay.
So you can come to me for a workout just like you can come to anybody for a workout. But I truly care about each and every individual that's coming through my facility and my brand, my business, and that's why it's very selective. Mm-hmm. So for me, you know, anyone can inquire and put a dollar amount on a workout, you know, but there's no dollar amount that can, you know, or there's no dollar amount you can put on the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no longevity in the dollar amount. You know, you'll go spend that at the gas station and get your family food, you know? So that's the biggest thing is, you know, the money isn't it, you know? It's where your heart's at, you know, and how hard you're going to work to get to what you want. So in terms of a workout, you know, I have them come in, we warm up, stretch, get time to foam roll, whatever you need. But when you come in, you know, we're going right to work. We'll get into the warm up, get some ball handling, finishing, shooting, whatever the case may be. If it's an individual workout, we'll work on their individual moves specified to what they do in the game or what they're going to see in their offense. And then also, you know, when we do the small group, I like to do in-game action, one-on-one, denying the ball, getting up in their face, also working on the defense. Everyone thinks it's about scoring 30. I mean, what if you get 5 steals and 5 layups? That's 10 points on your 30. And then you get fouled 5 times, make 5. You know, or you go 5 to the free throw line 5 times, you make 2, that's 10.
Yeah, that's 10. Yeah.
So then you got a quick 20, but then you hit threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happens if you hit threes? What happens if you hit 6 of those, 4 of those, 3 of those? Everybody doesn't get these attempts because they don't work for the attempts. They work for the offense. You know what I mean? I mean, if you really work on the game, your game, you could be the offense, or you can add an asset to the offense to make you an integral part instead of a robot or a screener or someone that just fills for a time slot and a sub. You know what I mean? So in terms of, you know, the relationship, which I touched on, that's stuff that we speak about. How can you be effective? How are you using this drill to implement it in the game? What are you seeing in the game? What are your deficiencies? What do we need to work on? So it's more about knowing who you are training rather than what you are teaching.
Gotcha. Okay.
You might have the knowledge, you know, and you might have all these drills, but they don't line up for my man that needs, you know, a left-hand layup. You can have him on the 10 between, behind, cross, that. He can't even do the left. You know what I mean? So you have to assess, you know what I mean? You have to assess what you're getting yourself into.
How do you learn all that, man? How do you like gain the ability to teach that? Like, I mean, you went to Phoenix College, right? You played ball, right? Like, did you, like you know, you said you didn't always know you wanted to be a trainer, but you know, God led you this way. But,
100%.
Like, was there a moment where you're like, dang, okay, like I really feel like this is the one? But then not only that, like, how did you like implement? You know what I mean? How did you come up with these? I
just love the game, and it was all specified to helping my brothers reach their maximum ability. Like I told you, this wasn't set up for me to be a basketball trainer. When I'm done playing basketball, I'm not going to work a 9 to 5, and I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train and I'm going to still be around the game for the rest of my life. That was not me. Because after I was done with basketball, I was figuring out how I was going to make 6 figures. I'm going to be a sports agent. I'm going to manage this guy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. So while I was working at Safe Light Auto Glass, and I was taking the calls on the you know, the call center, you know, and I grinded like everybody else did. And you came up and no, I was in the trench too. 9 to 5, whatever. So while I was taking those calls, what do you think was on the back of, you know, the regimented script that you have to read? Everyone has to read a script. When you answer that phone, everyone has to read a script. On the back of it, it's blank. I got Jordan and Marcus's workout that I'm going to get them in 30, 45 minutes. So the whole time that I'm in there, you know, on the call center, no, on the back of that paper while I'm, you know, talking to you to sleep because the script's nailed in my head, I'm writing every single workout for Jordan and Marcus. So when I go to the gym, right when I leave there, it's money. You know what I mean? So I took that whole time of working that job, and I still have the papers to this day with the safe light on them and the workouts to really fine tune my knowledge for the game and also what the boys needed. It wasn't, the workouts weren't for me to go somewhere and be a trainer. It was, I was working out my brothers because I know what they need to be the best that they can be better than anyone else. And I'm going to take this time when they're not around to really pour into myself, my mind, and the knowledge that I have for the game. So when I go to the gym, I'm not sounding like A, B, and C that you're going to for X, Y, and Z. That's not me. Because I already prepared 5 hours ago for what I'm doing right now. Just like when I have a workout at 4 a.m., but I'm up at 1:30. You know what I mean? So it's always just been for me, you know, for my brothers.
Yeah.
It's led to this and LeagueMe, which is great. But the foundation has always been me being the oldest brother and not having my brothers have to go through the same wins and losses, majority losses that I had to go through.
Yeah.
And that's what's led to LeagueMe.
Yeah.
So
I love that you brought up, man, the whole fact that, like, you know, you're working a 9 to 5 at that point, but you're taking, you know, you realize that the 9 to 5 is not the end there. It doesn't stop there. You know what I mean? This
is like when you ate breakfast and you're hungry for lunch, but mom's not making it until 12.
Exactly.
You just need a snack, right?
Yeah,
you just need a snack. That was just my snack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't ate yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I knew there was a bigger picture. That was just my I don't know. So when you're in that situation where you thought everything was this, but it's that, and then you're like, I don't know because I thought it was this. No. It's not. So that was just my time to really rethink what I'm doing and fine tune how I was moving forward. So that was my time where God was saying, slow down. You know what I mean? You're not where you need to be, but I'm going to put you where I need you to go. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But you also, okay, that's what I want to talk about too. Like that 9 to 5, man, if it wasn't for that 9 to 5, you wouldn't be planning on the back of that paper. You know what I mean? Sure, it could have happened somewhere else, but I want people to know. And I feel like, because I'm still trying to, you know, find myself out and grow and develop and all
100%.
that. But I feel like it's important to use that 9 to 5 for just what it is, but still have that mindset to still grow further than where you're at. You know what I mean? And I feel like you lived through that moment already where, you know, you realize that, hey, it's not the end of the world right here on this 9 to 5, but I can still better myself if I just come to work, do my thing, whatever it is. But I knew that after, when I get out of here, I'm going to what's really me.
And you don't want to know the real story because then you don't want to know the real story.
The real story, we do. We want to know the real story.
Because that wasn't really the defining moment. Like that wasn't even that was just my snack. I told you that was the snack. So listen, so we go from, you know, the call center, right?
Okay.
And what did I aspire to be coming out of college? What did I go to school for? Be a sports agent, the business school and all that. So I'm thinking in my head, you know, like I really want to be in the sports industry. I really want to do this. So we have, you know, a connection to get me in a sports agency, intern, all that. It didn't work out and it didn't fall into what it needed to be, but I put all my chips in one basket. So I leave the job, put all my chips in one basket, thinking what it was, but it really isn't what it is. You know what I mean? So then that turned me into, what am I going to do? So just to fast forward, you know what I mean? We can go into detail, but just to fast forward. So this leads me to, what am I going to do? My back's against the wall. I don't have a job, don't have an income. You know, I'm coaching at Perry High School for 1 year, only for the simple fact that my brothers are playing together for the first time ever. So I'm the associate head coach while I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you knew what a coach that coaches high school gets paid, you would rethink. You would reevaluate, saying, you know, I hate my job, or you know what I mean? And they have to work at the school. So you're gonna teach all day and then coach, and God bless you. You know what I mean? So I have so much respect for the teachers and coaches that do both, and they double back and they go and pour into the kids, and they drive to the game and they drive the bus and they go home and they don't see it. I'll see me with that. You know, that's for the birds. But for me, my biggest thing was, you know, how do I get out of this situation? I had nothing. My parents were a great support system. I was living at home. Really didn't have any overhead in terms of my business, or didn't have a business in terms of my bills, car payment, whatever the case may be. But it was one of those things where it kind of hits you in the face. Like, if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. Like, if you don't do it, like if you're waiting for a handout, your hand will get left out. Quote me.
I like
that's
that.
on spot too, just so you know. I don't predetermine.
I like this guy already, man.
So from me to you, it was one of those back against the wall moments, and it was one of those things where God literally walked through the door. I felt like I literally would train my brothers after Safe Flight, right? And after Safe Flight, and I would train them. We would have practice and all that. So I'd be going from there to there. I did the Safe Flight done. Go to the sports agency, would do the same thing. As I'm training my brothers, people looking through the window, parents like staying after, asking questions. Are you a trainer? Will you train my kid? When do you guys work out? And this is stuff I've been doing with my brothers forever. Like forever. So like nothing has changed. Like this is stuff that we've been working on. Like these are just daily routine type. Like this is nothing extra. and we're just so used to it, but people weren't accustomed to having a regimented schedule where a trainer has an implemented routine for you to do to reach your maximum potential at your deficiencies. So you can be good at something, you can keep working on it and make yourself good and pat yourself on the back. But if you're not pushing yourself at the things you're not good at, you're never going to get better. So for me, I think, people really saw that at that stage in my training of, I was picking out the deficiencies and making it a point for you to get better at those. And that's something that stuck with a lot of the parents up front, where you're not working on the stuff that my kid is good at. Like, exactly what he's not good at and what he needs to work on. So it was almost like one step ahead, and they were just curious, like, what is he going to work on next? Like, what can he implement to get his game better? What do you think? You know what I mean? So that kind of hit me that, okay, like, people would pay for me to train their kid, and, people want to have my time and, my knowledge of the game on their son or their daughter. But for me, it didn't make sense for it to be a business. It didn't. Like, I didn't see myself being able to not do anything but train. And that's something that bothered me. It was, if I'm not, just doing this to do it, I'm only going to do it for my brothers. Like, I'm only going to do it out of the pure joy that it brings me to see my brothers do well. And then I'll do what I need to do on the side.
Exactly.
So I really wasn't bought into you could be a basketball trainer.
Yeah. I think that, like, you already touched on it too, like building relationships. I think that's something that's like, that sticks with people more than, the dollar amount, more than ever, man. Like, Star just working with you in general, you know what I mean? And just keeping that relationship, or me just building relationships with people that come on here, you know what I mean? Like, that sticks more with someone than just, like, hey man, let's do business together and get out the door. You know what I mean?
Well, let me keep this real short, because I can go on forever about this. Like, in a point for Star. Star reached out because he knows the value that he has, and he knows what he can get from LeagueMe. And I agree to work with Star because I know the value that he has, and I know the value he can bring to my business. Now, we have an understanding to where he knows that I love and I care about him, but he knows that we're both going to maximize our businesses. But it's because we both have good hearts for each other.
Exactly.
It's not because I need to get something from him, he needs to get something from me. Because we don't need anything from each other at the end of the day.
No.
Like, all this and all the cameras and all the... It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Because that doesn't get you, drafted. That doesn't get you a check. It doesn't. It might get you opportunities, but it won't build longevity. So for me, it's like, I'd rather have a relationship with you or him or whoever rather than work with him.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because all I need is my family. Just like you or just like Morningstar or whoever. All you guys need is your family. It's not really a big deal to seek validation or reach, and it's not. It's like in the game, I call it reaching. You're going to reach, I'm going to teach you with this crossover. So I would just stay in front and play solid. You know what I mean? So you do what you want, but I'm going to play it safe.
Exactly.
And smart.
Nah, man, you keep bringing up, Desmond, you keep bringing up the family, like where it all comes from. And I love that, man, because I feel like, a lot of the people I talk to, including myself, just I could strongly relate to that, where, like, man, realizing that, if it wasn't even for your family, your mom and dad, you know what I mean, putting you in this position to succeed, giving you an opportunity, you know what I mean? I'm not sure where, your dad's Puerto Rican, my dad's Puerto Rican,
my
they didn't come
Puerto
from
Rican, my dad's black.
Okay, there we go. Your mom's Puerto Rican.
50 ball.
And it's not the prettiest out there in Puerto Rico 100%. Most of the parts. So it's like, them coming out here, whether it was your grandmother or your parents first, putting you in this position to succeed, man. Don't you feel like it's almost like, dang, man, if I don't do my part, I'm worth, or, that was just
I hear you.
Waste.
Like, for me, I wouldn't be who I am without them, of course, but it's more about the actions. For me, I've learned so many lessons from them, and, they've taught me so much, and I'm so thankful. But if you don't physically see someone really living what they are preaching, it's nothing.
Exactly.
Every morning I heard the pans 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Heard my dad's feet shuffling 2, 3 in the morning. Going to work, and I'm thinking, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I would come home sometimes 1, 2, 3 in the morning in high school and college. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't on that mindset.
No,
I'm normal. I'm human. You know what I mean? But the thing about it was, I would be coming in. They would. What are you doing? Why are you getting on late? I'm going to work. I'm grinding. It's different. Their mindset was different. I was of the world then, while they were, beyond that.
Yeah.
I'm living, you know, fast paced while they're living with purpose. You know what I mean? And that's what I've really learned was, you know, everything they do is with a purpose and for the Lord and doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
Exactly.
You know, my mom taught me you could never outgive God. That's one of the biggest things that she's taught me. And, you know, for me, it's all about giving, pouring into others, but also providing opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, you can't put a price on an opportunity. Just like this, you know what I mean? Being connected from Star, being able to be in front of you guys, you know, to present the story is a huge opportunity. And some people might take it for granted because they're entitled. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, I'm thankful for every opportunity, but also the foundation that my parents have set. Yes, it's huge.
Yeah. No, shout out to the parents, man. You know what I mean? They really do a lot for us, man. A lot of people
100%.
just take that for granted and they don't really, like, you know, take action on all of the stuff like you said. But
100%.
I want to talk about it, man. LeagueMe, man. Let's get into LeagueMe a little bit.
Talk to me.
You know, man, like you started, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, man. You know, in like a barn house or like a chicken house or something like that.
So,
right?
so that's like if there's 4 quarters, that's probably like third. That's probably like third quarter.
So there's something before that?
Yeah. So
let's take it back.
We're still on the snack. We're still on the snack. No, I'm saying. No. So when I first started, you know, it was really in the backyard with the boys, of course.
Okay.
Grassroots, and then it was just through the high schools, rec centers, YMCA, colleges, junior colleges.
And at this point, there's no LeagueMe on that, right? It's all just
at some point, you know, but it was probably I got whiff of it real quick. Like me and Marcus were in I think it was his or my bedroom because I was living at my parents' house at the time. Jordan was at college. I think he was still in high school, if I'm not mistaken. And we were thinking of names. And my biggest thing has always been like the NBA.
Yeah.
Like
that's the dream.
You know, any basketball player, like if you don't think about the NBA,
are you
another sport?
yeah.
So that was my biggest thing for the longest time, and still is just the NBA and just loving the way they run the organization, how they handle their people, their players, how they put their foot forward, and they're kind of quote unquote, like you said, the leader when they do things like the bubble. And, you know, it's always just been a dream of, you know, both of my brothers being able to watch them play in the NBA. And, you know, league really stuck with me, like the league, like the NBA. And then the me was just like me, like you guys, like you can do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah. And I also thought about it from a perspective of me. Like when you say league me in your profession, if you're doing a podcast, league me means doing it to the highest.
Yeah, put me in that bracket.
The tier one.
Tier one.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if we're talking NBA, overseas, you know, JUCO, a D1, D2, D3, like you always want to be in the highest tier. You always want to be number one. So the biggest thing for me was, you know, setting my business apart and not giving it a name that just specified with basketball. Like, oh, Desmond's training, Howard training,
Exactly.
No, league me is doing whatever you do in your life that you love to do the best way you can do it.
Exactly.
Not cutting corners, not doing things, you know, the easy way, not being lazy. You know, it's about doing things with, quote unquote, a spirit of excellence. And that's what I will leave, you know, the league me with, is doing things with a spirit of excellence and honoring the Lord through what you love and through the gifts that he's given you. And league me is beyond basketball.
Yeah.
It will be something that lives beyond just a trainer or training.
Yeah.
You know, I really, you know, want it to be something where people know that it's an atmosphere where lives are being changed.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you touched on that, man, because, you know, from an outsider, I always looked at LeagueMe as like, you know, like put me in the NBA.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But now that you break it down, like that makes sense. It has substance, it has meaning.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Amen. And for me, it was specific for me and my family and my brothers. It was never aspirational to be something where everyone's going to the NBA that I touch. I don't work magic, you know, but I'm gifted and anointed with the gifts that God's given me, and I will use them to the maximum ability that I can. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. How do you start, like, you know, because you're branding something at the same time. You know what I mean? How did you, like, how do you brand something from nothing in a way? You know what I mean? Like, I know word of mouth goes a long way. Like,
right.
I even want to touch on, like, do you run Instagram ads on the LeagueMe page? Do you, like, you know, how do you go about, like, taking LeagueMe to, you know, worldwide?
I think it's about doing right by the people that are doing right by you. And all I give is opportunities and my best effort. And for me, you know, building a brand is not easy and it takes time. A lot of people are just finding out about LeagueMe, which is great. But I've been doing this for 5 years as an LLC. I've been doing this for longer with my brothers, not knowing what I was doing, but just loving on them and teaching them the game of basketball. So for me, if you want to brand something and you want to market something, you have to be your biggest fan. You think I care what anyone has to say about me or my business? No, because I'm so foundationally sound and I believe in what I'm doing that whatever you have to say that's negative, I mean, I just look at it as I feel for you. Like I'm sorry that you really feel that you're in a position where you have time to tell me something negative about me lifting other people up. Yeah. So for me, I'm here to pour in, I'm here to give back, and I'm here to honor the Lord. And I fall short. I am not perfect. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm just going to do me. And, you know, if that's not up to your requirements, we're just not on the same page.
Maybe that's why that, like, you know, has reached such a high level of players or clients that you've been able to work with. Like, you know, you're really going out there, you know, like we said, it's not for the money. It's really for the relationships. It's for you trying to make an impact on individuals' lives. And I mean, let's touch on some of the names you've worked with, right? Like, can you throw some names out there?
Yeah, and I just want to shout out, first off, you know, Priority Sports, their sports agency. Mark Bartlestein, one of the top sports agents in the business. I'm really blessed to be, you know, aligned with those people. There's no partnership. I'm an independent contractor. I do my own thing. You know, LeagueMe is my business. I'm not under any contracts with anyone currently. But for me, you know, it's crazy. It's been a blessing, bro.
Any people you want to throw out there? Like,
yeah. Okay, so of course everyone knows my brothers Jordan and Marcus. You know, those are my foundation. That's who I've been working with since, you know, they were getting, you know, no minutes. Whether it's, you know, Marcus coming off the bench for Power or Jordan coming off the bench for, you know, whatever team that was, Powerhouse at the time or whatever, and they thought nothing of them. You know, and they were coming off the bench scoring 15, 20, 25, all-time leading scorers, brother duo, leading the school history in points. So I don't forget anything, especially when it comes to my brothers. But for me, Jordan and Marcus, that's a start. Blessed to work with Javon Carter, sons, Ty Jerome, sons, now on the OKC Thunder. Doug McDermott, Pacers. Udoka, Azubuike.
You ever seen that video of Star of him posting up on Star?
I need the Lil Wayne track to come up. I need the Lil Wayne to. Doke's too big time for me now. He left AZ. Lil Wayne talking about him. He's on the track. Yeah, he got the plug on the Lil Wayne song.
Oh,
yeah.
really? You're serious?
Look it up. He left AZ. He left AZ
to go make a track.
Lil Wayne shouted him out on the track.
Oh, the track. Okay, wait.
Crazy.
What's the track?
Crazy. I don't know.
Oh,
but long story short, yeah, you know, shout out Azubuike. And then Etwan Moore, 10-year vet. The Phoenix Suns just picked him up. I appreciate you entrusting me, bro, coming through. He came through right off, I don't know if it was right off the plane, but he didn't even touch the practice facility. He came through. Another Mark Barberstein lob. Yeah, he knows I don't miss.
He knows I don't miss.
Talk about the whole thing, bro. Wins and losses, like.
When's the last? Okay, we could touch on that. Dang, man, we're only at like 30 minutes. I was gonna get there. You keep pushing me. I got good stuff. I want to talk about like just the gym, man. Like just the gym in general, man.
Thanks.
That thing is pretty beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Thing is like I saw like the whole like what was it, like the time lapse that you posted of like it was.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's a throwback, because what I did was when we were building the facility and it was getting designed, everything was so ahead of the process, and it was kind of, I think not when COVID hit, but I forgot what happened. There was just a time where we didn't really say anything about it, and I think it was because the weight portion of the facility was a little behind schedule, so we wanted to release it when it was all complete. But I've had that court done for about a year, and I was training clients on it for about 6 months before I even posted that. So I was operating in that gym with my, you know, near and dear clients, very low key for a little while. So it's been built for about almost a year and a half ish. And then the weights portion and everything completed, it's been around a year. But yeah, it's a beautiful facility. I'm unbelievably blessed to be there. As I spoke about before, rec centers, high schools, middle schools, junior colleges, whether it's GCU, Chandler Gilbert, whether it's Queen Creek, whether it's Kiwanis, whether it's Tumbleweed, whether it's Queen Creek Middle, whether it's Pickett, whether it's I'm just losing them because there's so freaking many. Whether it's the 5 to 7 Mormon churches I'm tapped in with that we hold the runs at, or whatever, the facility, beautiful spot. The Boys and Girls Club off 4th Street, I think. What about the Boys and Girls Club off, I want to say it's Guadalupe and Gilbert? You know, like I could go on forever. And these are all places and connections that have been a blessing and that have been, you know, a season of my life where I've really capitalized, built relationships, and pushed forward with the LeagueMe brand. You know what I mean? So the facility that I have now is, you know, a realization of anything's possible. I've always said I wanted my logo on the floor. Didn't happen at multiple places. And that's okay because I'm gonna make it happen regardless. So it's just a blessing. It really is to look back on how far I've come and what I've been through, the wins and the losses. And I was just talking to somebody else, touching on the losses. I drove by a mile and a half away is a rec center that used to tell me I can't train there. So they used to tell me at 4 a.m, I want to say, when no one's in there. Maybe someone upstairs lifting, right?
Yeah.
You're making a disturbance and you're a distraction.
People, man.
No.
That was by here?
Oh, no. That's a mile away from my gym. So that rec center, a mile away from my gym, they used to tell me, you can't train here.
Should just open right next door.
You can't train here. And it blew my mind that God, you know, his sense of humor is unbelievable because you literally go a mile down the street, less than a mile. You could literally ride your bike, take a little jog. It's so close. And I'm operating business right up the street in a beautiful location.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, it's funny when you get a no because God opens another door for a yes. So that no was Desmond. You shouldn't be training here.
Yep.
I have bigger plans for you. You want to train in a rec center when there's 50 people around, 2 other trainers, and you're on a half court?
Yeah.
And dude's looking over at what drill you're doing and implementing it 5 minutes later? Or you want to be in a private facility when you can have agents, trainers, parents, sit in a nice waiting area, watch their player, son, daughter, and then also get work done, take phone calls, and have a secluded environment with a professional facility that you can provide to your clients that really are investing in something that they feel can better them.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. You're already touching on what I'm about to get into next, man. I love that. One thing I want to bring up is, you know, this podcast, man, is built specifically for individuals like you, creators like you, people trying to, you know, do something that their future self will thank them for.
Right.
And, you know, hence the name Wins and Losses. I feel like during your journey, man, there at some point, you know, and you already touched on it a little bit, but I feel like there had to have been a point, maybe just one experience, maybe a few, where you were like, dang, man, like, you know, you can consider it a loss or a lesson, as, you know, we would probably take it, but it helped you, transcend to the next level, or helped you like realize like, dang, you know what, man, I shouldn't be second guessing myself right here. Like maybe this was meant to happen in order 100%, for me to get to where I'm at now. Can we talk about some of those?
Yeah, bro. I feel like there's been a lot of times where people I feel like not are close to me or, you know, quote unquote, you know, family or whatever the case may be, you know, regardless of the situation, circumstances, you don't turn your back. You know what I mean? And that's a loss to me because I don't consider many people family. What's up, fam? And what's going on, bro? And da-da. That's all cool. But, you know, when we're talking like Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know, whatever the case may be, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It goes beyond, you know, a dollar amount. You know what I mean? It's more about the time, relationship, and, you know, as we spoke about, opportunity. You can't put a price on that. There's been situations I'd rather not get paid. And be there and just observe. Yeah, exactly. And then I've been in the position where I can just sit back and observe. I'm like, damn, this is really what goes on. This is really what happens. This is really how you operate, and this is how you really treat people. But, you know, who am I?
Nah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Any like specific like setbacks? Like I know you talked about the recreation. Like they basically said.
I mean, there's been so many situations, bro, where it's just jealousy, envy, and greed over whether it's money, clients, notoriety, visibility, whatever the case may be. When it's just, if you're a good-hearted person, you want to work and build one another up, we can all work together. I'll give you an example that's for the pro. I'll keep away from the cons. God Game in the Valley. There's a guy named Jay and Nigel. Nigel's Eric Bledsoe's brother. Jay's a really good dude. He facilitates whatever. They came to me and were just acknowledging some of the runs and whatnot because they run a pro-am where they have on, I want to say Wednesday, maybe Saturday and Sunday. I could be wrong on the days. Don't quote me.
Okay.
But maybe 2 to 3 days of the week where they hold a pro run or pro-am where it's an actual game with refs and you have pros come in, you have different teams, people stack up, da-da-da. So it's not a men's league because there's many of those being ran around the valley. But it's a very specified atmosphere for professional athletes in the off season to play a real game in a sense. So for me, I took a liking to it. I like what they do. We spoke, we chopped it up. They had 3 courts in the facility, which is beautiful. They took up 2 of them. There was an open court. So instead of being like, oh, we're just going to have the court, they asked me if I would come in and hold a run at the same time. I'm like, wouldn't that contradict in my head? Wouldn't that contradict with what they got going on? No, it would bring more visibility. Desmond, we love what you're doing. If everyone did stuff like that, I'm even thinking about with other trainers. I'm open to working with them. I'm open, to mentoring, to if you have questions, But it's always, how much can I rent your facility for?
Yeah, that's always.
You got to work to get your own, bro.
Yeah.
At that. So for me, it's, there's different types of ways of going around it. But at the end of the day, I just appreciate good-hearted people. So shout out God Game in the Valley. Partnership coming ×2. Double back in the summer. Hopefully you guys are in here. I know, I think Jay's in Arkansas. I don't know where Nigel's at. But I appreciate y'all. Great summer for what it was. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. But any cons,
Yeah.
I'll just put a general.
I mean, it's safe to say those cons, man. You flipped them into, pros, if anything.
Exactly, and for me, it's not something to really dwell on. You know what I mean? It happened. It was what it was. It is what it is, and we're at where we're at, and that's how I'm pushing. I think
everything is like how you take it. You know what I mean? I could tell you the most shittiest shit, the worst shit ever, 100%. Man, but it's all how you take it in. You know what I mean? You could turn that into something positive and be like I could, And
that's what it is, bro. If you're foundationally sound and you believe in what you do and you're very secure in who you are, you'll be just fine.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Fine. Yeah, no, man. Any particular, I know we could talk about the flip side. You just talked about it, man. You jumping the gun. You're ready. You 10 steps ahead and everything. But wins, man. Any moments where you're like, maybe achievements, man. Something that made you.
I mean, my brother getting the call from the Nuggets. Yeah. I mean, we're sitting there. He doesn't
get better than that, right?
He doesn't go drafted. He went undrafted. But a lot of people don't know he could have took an offer in the late second round that wasn't guaranteed. So if you want to be smart, would you rather go undrafted or unpaid?
Yeah.
Let me ask you that question.
Bro, I would rather go undrafted.
Because I want to get paid.
Duh.
No, but for me, and it's not about the money, it's about making the smart business. But it's a smart business decision for your life. Yeah, this is what he does every day. So for me, seeing him get the call from the Nuggets and the head coach and, everyone in the office and us embracing and having that moment of all the hard work. The same thing for Jordan because he got drafted I think first or second in the G League draft, which isn't the same, but it was an accomplishment, bro. And, I'm very proud of both of them. Yes, I mean, for Jordan to be able to, make a living playing basketball, whether it's in Korea, he was just in Puerto Rico, got the Rookie of the Year. And, I mean, to make a living playing basketball for half the year, and then you can come, work on your game, post up, enjoy AZ, and, spend time with your family. I mean, I don't see what better life you could live if you love the game. If you love the game. Yeah. So
I don't even think it would be possible if you didn't love the game. Do you think? Do you think it's possible to make it to the league if you didn't love the game?
Yeah.
People like that.
100%. Because I'm pretty sure the number 1 draft pick said if he would have got drafted playing football, he would go.
He ain't throwing no names, but you can put it together. Google's there. That's crazy, man. I didn't I mean, then maybe it's just it won't last.
It's one of those things where it's like I feel like a real hooper I mean, if they had $10 million to do nothing and they got $8 million to hoop, they would hoop.
Yeah, man. People are
Is
built
it about
different.
the money or the love, you know?
Yeah. No.
If money moves you, it just speaks a lot about you. I'll tell you that.
I didn't even get to ask. I should have asked this earlier, but this is what you do full time. Right?
Yeah, I don't.
Nothing
Yeah,
else?
I don't work for anybody else.
There you go, man. Working for yourself. You heard it, people. Working for yourself. That's what you do. All right, man. I want to ask you, like some, so let's talk about the future, man, for LeagueMe. Any special, like, goals that you want to talk about that you could, like when you think of the future, where do you see LeagueMe?
I just want to be the best that's ever done it. I want to be the best, and that's just
Not just the best in Arizona.
no. Arizona is where I'm at, and I'm gonna support my people in the city, and I love Arizona, but I want to be the best in the world. So where would you start if you want to be the best in the world? I mean, you can't just conquer the world if you can't give back, pour in, and really put your city on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start local, and then we'll continue to build.
There you go. No, I hear you, man. And then, I know it's important, man. Like we kind of touched on it before, but I see you working with even children. I know we've been talking about NBA players and stuff like that. I feel like you're the type of person, like you said, you give, man. You just want to help. You want to pass the knowledge.
I specify it as P2P, preschool to pro. Like anyone in preschool all the way to pro. I don't care who you are. I got something for you.
There you go.
And that's what I'm starting with. I mean, I have first and second graders that I feel like are going to be the best in the state by the time they're ninth grade. And it's because they're working out at first and second grade. I literally, God bless me, thank the Lord, made varsity as a freshman. How does that happen when I don't play basketball like that? I don't practice. I don't, have a trainer. It's just God given. But if I worked at it since first or second grade, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A lot
Think
of
about
kids
that
just used to
impact
pick,
you're making.
yeah, a lot of
Like,
kids just used
that's
to pick up the ball and just hoop.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers used to just go in the back when we were little and just hoop. Now you have trainers putting them through drills, specific moves, situations, first and second grade. And then they have that much time to develop. God knows how good they can be. You know?
No, and that's special, man. Like I said, making an impact, like for me, man, even just like, you said you only have two siblings, but just like, having like younger nieces or nephews, like just making an impact on, just the future generations, man. Like that touches you differently. You know what I mean? It's like,
bro.
It's one thing to work with like people that are already, halfway developed or whatever, however you want to put it. But
I'm with you.
When you're,
there's no real satisfaction in working with a player and they're already a 10-year NBA vet or they're the best 3-point
right?
shooter. There's no satisfaction in seeing them make a shot because I didn't do that for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm helping you get in shape and I'm helping you prepare, and I'm not going to be the one to take credit for any of those players' games. Yeah. But if you want to talk about years and decades of working with a player, and we're talking about my brothers, that's different. But when we're talking about like a Doug or a Ty or a Cam Johnson or Javon or whoever, I don't have anything to do with where they're at right now. I've been there to help them in a season of their life or their career, but I mean, I didn't help them in college for them to get drafted. I wasn't there. I didn't do all that, and I'm not going to take credit for that. Yeah. But I will be the guy to hold them accountable, to push them, to love on them, and to provide them a service that somebody else can't when they're in town, because it's only for a season period of time. But I think that, for everybody out there, I just think that if you really love something, I think you should do everything in your power to get what you want.
There you go, man. Any we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. Any last words words of encouragement or anything like that? I know you've been through a lot. Maybe just for people, some of the viewers that are trying to start their own business. It could be anything. LeagueMe, like you said, isn't anything. So let's talk. Maybe it would come from the mentality perspective.
I would say you gotta be hungry. And of course you always say that you got to be hungry, you got to be grinding, you got to work hard. No, you got to be hungry. Like you haven't ate in a year and your stomach hurts and you threw up twice today. Because in the morning when I get up, I feel like I'm in second place every day. And that's what holds me accountable is myself. Nobody's telling me, Desmond, tomorrow you got to go hard. You have to provide for your family. You have to. No, it's expected of me. And I appreciate that because they hold me accountable to X, Y, and Z because they know I'm on point with A, B, and C all day. So for me, hold me accountable, put me up there. You know what I mean? And like my boy Bartlestein throw me a lob, I'm not gonna miss.
Dude, yeah, man. I like that, man. You know, it seems like you really have found yourself out and really like kind of like, dang, you know what, man, like ain't nobody gonna beat me but myself.
At all.
You
There's
know?
no comp.
Like it's safe to say that about you. Like you know, that's the key motivator. Obviously, you have other motivations, like, you know, I do it for the family, I do it for, you know, to make an impact.
But that's the thing. It's like I feel like so good about me and what I'm doing for my family that everything else is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like I'm fulfilled with what I'm doing for the ones that I love. So
Exactly.
everything else is appreciated. You know?
Yeah, man. Any last words, man? Any special shout outs you want to give? You know, socials. All
Yeah,
that
no.
stuff, drop it.
I mean, I'm cool on the socials. You know, Instagram needs to stop giving me that blue check. I don't want it. I've been verified. Instagram. But yeah, no shout outs. Just, you know, I want to give a shout out to Morningstar, Star Power Media, putting me on to this. You know, Wins and Losses is a great platform for individuals to really get something off their chest and what's on their heart and what's on their mind and what they love. You know, they're here for you. So, I mean, this opportunity is unbelievable. Everyone that helps me in my business, Nick, appreciate you. Mom, Dad, appreciate you. Star, Jess, Miguel, Noah, everybody on the media side, Miles in North Carolina, appreciate you on the administrative side. Yeah, I just appreciate everybody. You know, it's a team effort. I do a lot of things on my own, but I can't get it done by myself. I'll put it like that. So I appreciate you guys. Keep the Lord first, your head on straight. And I just appreciate the time, bro.
No, thank you, man. Thanks for hopping on. Hopefully, you know, like in the future we can get you back, man. Talk about some growth. That's always good.
Hopefully a couple more gyms when you get me back.
There you go. Yeah. We'll make it a thing, man. Next time you see Desmond here, man, the best of the best in Arizona at what he does.
I'll be at
we'll
my
catch
next
him.
location. It's coming soon. You heard it here first.
Let's go. Yeah, go ahead, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You can find me at AdamGPerez_. That's on Instagram. You could check us out, man. We'll be coming out with some new episodes pretty soon. And in the meantime, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. Peace.